The Lost Years. The early morning sun filtered through the blinds of Daniel's modest apartment as he sat at the edge of his bed, holding a worn photograph of a little boy with curly hair and a wide smile. It was the only picture he had of his son, Marcus, taken when he was just 2 years old. Now Marcus was 17, a young man Daniel had barely been allowed to know. Daniel met Vanessa when they were both fresh out of high school, full of dreams and boundless energy. Their love burned hot and fast, and soon Marcus was on the way. But the challenges of early parenthood, combined with financial struggles and clashing personalities, drove a wedge between them. Vanessa ended the relationship before Marcus's first birthday, citing irreconcilable differences. Despite Daniel's pleas to co-parent, Vanessa insisted he stay out of their lives. "I don't want Marcus growing up around your instability," Vanessa had said during one of their last conversations. Daniel remembered how those words stung. He wasn't perfect. He knew that. But he loved his son and wanted to be there for him. Every time he tried to reason with Vanessa, she slammed the door on him, emotionally and legally. For years, Daniel wrote letters, sent birthday gifts, and tried to arrange visits through the courts, but Vanessa always found ways to block him. She moved frequently, changed phone numbers, and told Marcus that his father didn't care about him. The system, it seemed, was on her side. 17 years later, Daniel's phone buzzed with a text from an unfamiliar number. "We need to talk. Marcus wants to meet you." It was Vanessa. His heart leapt and sank all at once. He had dreamed of this moment for years, but it was tainted by the bitterness he felt toward her for keeping him away. Still, he agreed to meet them at a local park the next day. When Marcus arrived, Daniel could barely believe his eyes. He was taller than Daniel had imagined, with Vanessa's sharp cheekbones but Daniel's piercing eyes. The boy, or rather the young man, looked at him with a mix of curiosity and resentment. "I'm Marcus," he said flatly. Daniel extended his hand, but Marcus didn't take it. Instead, he folded his arms and stared. "Why'd you leave us?" he asked bluntly. The question hit Daniel like a punch to the gut. He glanced at Vanessa, who avoided his gaze. "I didn't leave," Daniel said softly. "I was kept away." "Kept away? That's not what Mom said," Marcus shot back. "She told me you didn't care enough to stick around." "That's not true," Daniel said, his voice trembling. "I tried, Marcus. I wrote letters, sent gifts, even went to court. I fought for you, but your mom, she didn't make it easy for me to be in your life." Marcus looked at Vanessa, who shifted uncomfortably. "Why didn't you tell me that?" he demanded. "Why did you lie to me?" Vanessa sighed. "It wasn't a lie," she said defensively. "I didn't think Daniel was a good influence. I was just trying to protect you." "From what?" Marcus snapped. "From having a dad who actually wanted to know me?" Daniel stepped in. "Look, I'm not here to argue. I just want a chance to know my son." Marcus hesitated, anger flickering across his face. "You don't get it. You've missed everything. My first basketball game, my birthdays, my struggles. You weren't there? And now you want to just walk in and play dad?" Daniel's throat tightened. He wanted to explain everything, to tell Marcus how hard he had fought, how many sleepless nights he had spent wondering what his son was doing, but he realized it wouldn't matter. Marcus was hurt, and no amount of explanation could erase that pain. "You're right," Daniel said finally. "I can't make up for the time we lost, and I won't pretend like I can just step in and be the dad you need right now. But I'm here, Marcus. I've always wanted to be here, and if you'll let me, I want to start from where we are now." Marcus stared at him for a long moment. Then, without a word, he turned and walked away. Weeks passed, and Daniel didn't hear from Marcus.